Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss introduction of microprocessor and microcomputer. What is microprocessor? Microprocessor is CPU built into a single chip or in a VLSI chip. And what is VLSI chip? A VLSI is very large scale integration. In this, millions of transistors or MOSFETs are fabricated in a single IC. Okay, what does this microprocessor contains? It contains three components: registers, control unit, and ALU. ALU is arithmetical and logical unit. And what is the main function of microprocessor? It is multi-purpose. You can use for more than one purpose. It is programmable. You can say you can program according to yourself. Clock driven. Every clock is associated with the microprocessor, which determines the speed of microprocessor. Okay, and it is register based semiconductor device. Register based means its internal memory is register, and it accept data in binary form, and it processes, as the name indicates processor, and produces output again in binary form, because machine can understand only binary language. So what is the function of microprocessor? If we combine all these, microprocessor is a multi-purpose, programmable, clock-driven, semiconductor, register-based device, and it takes data in binary form and processes it according to given instruction and produces the result in output. Okay, this is your microprocessor. Now come into microcomputer. First, what is digital computer? A digital computer, in this there is CPU, input output device, and memory. Okay, memory, RAM and ROM. When a CPU is replaced by a microprocessor in a digital computer, it is called your microcomputer. Means, what are the components of a microcomputer? Replace CPU by microprocessor. This is your microprocessor, this is input output device, this is memory, and this is your system bus. Okay, bus is used to connect microprocessor with memory and input output device. This is called system bus. So mainly microcomputer contains microprocessor, input output device, and memory. Okay, these four components form a system. Okay, these four components will form a system with the help of a system bus. This is called your system. This complete is your microcomputer. This is your microprocessor, and components of microprocessor are ALU, arithmetical logical unit, control unit, and register array. Okay, this is your bus organization of a microcomputer. Now, what is arithmetical and logical unit? Arithmetical and logical unit, it is used to compute different arithmetical and logical operations. Arithmetical operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and logical operations such as and, or, not, and exclusive or, XOR. This is the function of ALU. Next, register array. You know what is the function of register? Registers are used to store temporary data during execution of a program. Okay, and they, in microprocessor, they are identified by letters such as B, C, D, E, H, L. These are the different registers in 8085. There are accumulator, flag register, and stack pointer, program counter. Later on, we will see different types of register. And you are already aware with register in logic design. What is the main function of register? To store temporary data. Okay, and these are important. These register are the identifiers of any instruction. Suppose I am writing B equal to C, means B and C are what? Registers. B equal to C, and in 8085 we will use mnemonics. For equal to we will use move B comma C, means B equal to C, means contents of C is transferred into B register, but you can use only valid registers as an identifier. Okay, next, control unit. It provides the necessary timing and control signal to all the operation in the microcomputer, means this is responsible to provide all the timing and control signal, and it will synchronize microprocessor with output device or input device or memory. Okay, so it controls the flow of data between microprocessor memory and microprocessor and peripheral. Now memory. Okay, memory, you know, there is primary memory and secondary memory. In primary, two type of memory: ROM, read only memory, and RAM, random access memory. ROM, in this is read only memory, means you cannot write anything in ROM, so that's why it is also called code memory. Okay, RAM, random access memory or read write memory. It is also called data memory. In this we can write anything. So we will use RAM and ROM frequently in assembly language programming. Now, input and output devices. What are the function of input and output devices? It is used to communicate microprocessor with its outside world. With its outside world means peripherals. Okay, it will connect microprocessor with peripherals. And what are input devices? Keyboard, switches, ADC, analog to digital converter. Output devices: LED, DAC, digital to analog converter, and LCD. These are your output devices. So these are all about your microcomputer. This is your microcomputer. What is ALU, what is control unit, what is register array, what is input output device, what is memory, and what now system bus. Okay, what is the function of system bus? What do you mean by bus? Bus is nothing, it is group of conducting wires which is used to store, which is used to carry bits or information. Okay, this is your system bus. It is communication path between microprocessor and peripheral. It is group of conducting wires to carry information or bits. So mainly there are three types of buses. First one is address bus. What is the function of address bus? It is used to carry address only. Okay, it will carry address from one point to another point. And in 8085, length of address bus is 16 bit. Okay, 16 bit. Now what is data bus? Data bus, it is used to carry data only. It is used to carry data only. In 8085, length of data bus is 8 bit. And what is the function of control bus? As you already aware with control unit. So basically it deals with control unit. Control bus, it is to generate timing and control signals such as memory read, memory write, input output read, input output write. Okay. Now address bus. Okay, I will correlate just like suppose there is post office. Okay, and there is one letter, and that letter has to transfer in a address whose house number is 25 and lane number is 30. Okay, what postman will do? First of all, postman will search the address. Address means house number and lane number. Okay, then he will, after identifying the house number and lane number, what he will do? He will ring a bell, and after that he will transfer that letter to that concerned person whose house number is 25 and lane number is 30. Okay, so in this case letter is a data and house number and lane number is address, and to ring a bell is nothing, it is control signal. So this way you can understand what is the function of address bus, data bus and control bus. One more example. Suppose I am dialing. I want to interact with my friend. In that case, first what I will do? I will dial the number of my friend. Okay, and that number, 10-digit number is nothing, that is address. And after receiving the ring, okay, after dialing he will receive a ringtone. Okay, and then he will receive my phone, then we will interact with each other. So what is happening here? Mobile number, my friend's mobile number is nothing, it is address bus. Okay, this is address because I am dialing his number, and then we are interacting with each other. Okay, I am sender, I am just sending any data, I am telling anything, and he is just listening, and sometime he is telling, I am listening. So the conversation is nothing, that is data. And when he is receiving the ring tone, that is called your control signal. So address bus is unidirectional. Address bus is always unidirectional because postman needs to search only house number and lane number in one direction only. Okay, similarly when I am contacting, I am dialing my friend's number, I need only his mobile number. His mobile number is nothing, address. And data bus, data bus is always bidirectional. When I am contacting to my friend, there is conversation, sometime he is telling, I am listening, sometime I am telling, he is listening, means bidirectional. So always data bus is bidirectional. So why address bus is unidirectional? Because microprocessor sends bits only in one direction, from microprocessor to memory or microprocessor to input output device. And why data bus is bidirectional? Because microprocessor is sending data to memory, or memory is sending data to microprocessor, or similarly microprocessor is sending data to input output device, or and input output device is sending data to microprocessor in both direction. That is your data bus. So you have to remember address bus is unidirectional, data bus is bidirectional, and length of address bus of 8085 is 16 bit, and length of data bus of 8085 is 8 bit. So all the registers are designed to operate in 8 bit because data bit length is 8 bit. Now come into difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. Okay, there is one more term, microcontroller. In microprocessor, you know, in a single microprocessor there is only what? ALU, control unit and registers only. So there is one chip. Inside that chip there will be three components, and that will be ALU, control unit and registers. But in microcontroller there is a chip. In that chip there is CPU, or you can say microprocessor, plus memory plus input output. So microprocessor consists of only central processing unit, whereas microcontroller contains a CPU, memory, input output all integrated in one chip. So this is the basic difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. Microprocessor is the heart of microcomputer system, and microcontroller is the heart of embedded system. Okay, what is the application of microprocessor? Microprocessor is generally used in personal computer, whereas microcontroller is used in embedded system. Okay, such as washing machine. Okay, microwave oven. In microwave oven and in washing machine we use microcontroller. Microprocessor uses an external bus to interface to RAM, ROM and other peripherals. On the other hand, microcontroller uses an internal control bus, because in microcomputer, microprocessor is separate and input, output and memory are separate. So to connect we need external bus, but in the microcontroller there is only one internal bus, okay, through which all the components, CPU, memory, input, output, timer, all are interconnected. Microprocessor is based upon von Neumann model, and microcontroller are based upon Harvard architecture. Okay, in this we have for data and code memory. In von Neumann we have only one system bus. Okay, data bus and address bus for data and address. But in microcontroller based Harvard architecture we have separate address and data bus, or you can say system bus. So this is the basic difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. So one more difference, because microprocessor contains only CPU, so as a single IC you cannot use microprocessor. Okay, if you want to operate, if you want to use as a multi-purpose programmable device, then you need to interconnect a microprocessor with input output device and memory with the help of system bus. But microcontroller can be used as a single IC, because memory, input output device, processor and ADC and timer all are fabricated in a single chip. Okay, it's all about your today lecture. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.